Let's take a look at the starting lineups tonight. We begin with Western Carolina without Devin Peterson, third leading scorer, did not make the trip to Charleston. Elijah Pugsley, Abubakar Mutombo, he is the nephew of Dikembe Mutombo. Darius Park steps in Peterson's spot. Mark Goslin and Charlendez Brooks, the starting lineup for head coach Larry Hunter. He and Bob Huggins among the top 10 winningest active coaches. He has won 683 times. Also coached Wittenberg to the Division III championship back in 1977. Here's a look at your starting lineup for the West Virginia Mountaineers coming off that big victory over Virginia. Javon Carter, Daxter Miles Jr., Nathan Adrian, Issa Ahmad, and Elijah Macon for the 15th ranked West Virginia Mountaineers, coached by Bob Huggins. 797 career wins. Coach Huggins has his Mountaineers off to a 6-1 start in his 10th season at his alma mater. West Virginia will be wearing the white, and Western Carolina in the purple and gold. And the officials, Tom O'Neill, Antonio Petty, and Jeb Hartness. The Mountaineers annually play a game, sometimes two here in Charleston, and we are underway as Elijah Macon controls the tap. Javon Carter comes out in Western Carolina in man-to-man defense.
They'll play a variety of defenses starting out in the man.
Down low on the blocks to Ahmad, and he has a block by Mutombo. Very active player, Abubakar Mutombo. Now, how will they handle this pressure? Get it over the line initially here.
Well, I know in practice that's all they've really been working on.
Little runner, shot changed by Ahmad, rebound out. Goslin the three-point attempt, and Short making the rebound.
Good transition defense by Western Carolina. Really got back quick.
Daxter Miles Jr. will hit the three-pointer.
And it gives West Virginia the opportunity to set up the pressure that they like to bring.
Starting out hot, 6 for 11 from three-point range. Parks wants to take it himself. Instead of a three-man, it can handle the ball. Parks, the only senior for the Catamounts.
First two times down against West Virginia's pressure, no problem for Western Carolina.
Goslin skips, three-pointer on the way. Off the mark by Mutombo. Rebound to Miles Jr. after it was tapped by Macon to keep it alive. And to Nathan Adrian. Oh, over to Macon for the finish.
Boy, good look by Adrian. Macon read it, made a good cut.
Nathan Adrian, we mentioned, tied for the team lead with Javon Carter in assists. And now we see our first turnover.
And again,
Goslin had trouble.
Nathan Adrian coming from behind, creating that turnover.
Nice feed, and then Macon flashing and finishing.
Nathan Adrian knows where everybody is on the floor, and he anticipates so well.
You know, remarkable improvement. When you think about some of the players, Issa Ahmad, you sort of expect that. Tavon Myers, second year in the system for Bob Huggins, you expect those improvements. Watkins has been healthy, as no over and back as Parks gets a finger on it. But boy, what Nathan Adrian has done is remarkable in his senior season. Skip to Macon, 6 in the shot clock. Macon takes it in on Charlendez Brooks, who did a nice job of holding his ground.
West Virginia would still do so often, pressing after a miss.
Western Carolina doing a nice job early on with the pressure. They've had their difficulties in the turnover department. Here's Pugsley. Nice lead for Brooks, and there to block it is Adrian and to save it.
An assist, a block shot. I tell you what, he's doing a little bit of everything so much.
Carter's three rattles out. Nice rebound by Ahmad, and he is fouled. Will go to the free throw line. Well, as much of it as it was a block, it looked like Charlendez Brooks just lost the handle on the way up.
Jammed it in the bottom of the rim. But you know what? That's a block by Nathan Adrian. We're going to take that.
That's it. And he was, you know what? Had he gone up straight with it, it probably would have been a block by
Yes.
Adrian. He was in perfect position. As Ahmad hits the first, and we see Brandon Watkins checking into the game. Dexter Miles Jr. was over there as he helped escort Watkins onto. He has not checked out of the game yet. By the way, we talked about that win over Virginia. West Virginia is 16 of 19 from the free throw line as Issa Ahmad hits the first two here for the Mountaineers.
Now, we've seen West Virginia struggle from time to time at the line.
And that and the turnover is a huge factor in the victory over Virginia. Mutombo has a cutting Goslin, and from behind, Dexter Miles Jr. with a block.
But that looked like for all the world was going to be a layup. Good recovery by Miles.
Mutombo, hesitation move, and that's blocked away by Ahmad. And Watkins was there as well defensively.
Nothing cheap inside.
And a three-pointer by Darius Parks off the inside play, so Western Carolina on the board. They've had some difficulties offensively. They only had 18 points in the first half against both Marquette and Ohio State. Larry Hunter says, we talked to him this morning, said that's not usual for his team. They usually shoot a little bit better than that. And struggling offensively early on. They lost a lot of scoring from a year ago. Huggins, a quizzical look as he goes to his bench, and we see both Tariq Phillips and Tavon Myers checking in. And into Phillip, fresh 30-second shot clock. Down to 20. Myers. It's Parks who gets in the passing lane.
Boy, and that was one of those passes that Tavon Myers telegraphed the entire time. All you had to do was read his eyes.
There's Parks, another three. This is a long one, rattles out. And Mutombo, nice job by Phillip of blocking out. So Mutombo will be called for over the back. Well, we've seen teams struggling to shoot here in Charleston. Neither team off to a hot offensive start, but it's the Mountaineers over the Catamounts. 7-3, 15:54 remaining in the first half. All three of their games at home, concluding their recent three-game homestand with 2 down in the state of Florida. 7-3 here in Charleston. West Virginia leading the Western Carolina Catamounts. Watkins kicks out to Phillip. Three-pointer on the way is good for Tariq Phillip.
Good read by Watkins. He saw the double team coming. Found a wide open Phillip.
And we get the foul. Away from the basket, it's going to be called on Brandon Watkins.
Not a good foul. Want to be aggressive, but you got to get the right angle to try to get in and steal that ball.
And West Virginia's hit a pair of three-pointers, up 10-3, 15:25 remaining in the first half. Mark Goslin, a sophomore from Lyon, France. And this one stolen by Phillip. And the reach-in foul is going to be called on Elijah Pugsley.
Too much distance between players for Western Carolina. Tariq Phillips read that like a defensive back would a football interception. Saw
That's
it coming.
exactly right. Yep, had a good break on it,
Yes,
didn't he?
he
Read
did.
the quarterback's eyes on
Yes.
that one. West Virginia forcing a lot of turnovers. And now Phillip hit the three and thought he was fouled, too. And no foul called. Looked over somewhat disgustedly at the officials. Still 13-3 for the Mountaineers. Parks able to get it across the timeline. Pugsley skips. Goslin swallowed up inside. Issa Ahmad. Ooh, nice wraparound pass to Adrian. Lost the handle. Watkins the finish.
And good view by Adrian to catch Watkins coming down the middle. Western Carolina's going to have to reconsider driving to the basket. They can't get anything on the glass at all.
West Virginia doing an excellent job in the interior of that defense. We know about the ability to steal, but boy, it's nice to be able to back that up with an inside presence defensively. Mountaineers on an 8-0 run. Pugsley the three-pointer. Off the mark, rebound, soaring Brandon Watkins. Phillip leaves for Watkins.
Yes. Watkins rewarded for running the floor.
Well, he had a big game here as a freshman in the Friends of Cole Bowl. Their matchup against Marshall.
Marshall MVP of that ball game, yes.
Now a 14-point West Virginia lead. Mutombo, tough fadeaway, off the mark, rebound Phillip. Ahmad lost the handle on the drive to the hole.
4 fresh troops coming in for West Virginia.
Macon back in with Miles and Carter, and our first look at Lamont West.
Good hand for the 4 that are coming out. Excellent job.
And our first look at West, the redshirt freshman who had 8 second half points, I beg your pardon, against Virginia. Big part of their victory. Really, really high on Lamont West. And a 5-second call, another turnover forced by the Mountaineers.
And that's what those substitutions will do. It begins to wear on you. We saw it against Virginia. West Virginia putting in 4 fresh guys now. They can keep that constant heat on.
14 turnovers they forced to just 8 that they committed. Those 6 turnovers and the points off those turnovers. Again, we mentioned the free throws. Those probably the 2 biggest factors in West Virginia's victory. Carter lost the handle to Mutombo. And we'll have more on that victory in a little bit from Virginia's perspective. Some of the things they had to say about West Virginia in that pressure defense. And there's another turnover right on cue. Daxter Miles Jr. leaves it to Macon. Macon, tough finish and the foul.
Miles really lucky. He was in some trouble right here. Macon right there to get it, and what a tough shot this was. Put the right English on it to get it to go down.
And you can see the steal. It's West who gets the hand in there. And Macon missed a free throw.
That last pass Parks threw just too lazy for an aggressive defense like West Virginia.
Yalom Olje, by the way, with the rebound. Ano Stager is also checked into the game. And that's Olje, a freshman from Turkey, who has his pocket picked. And then on the other end, Milner too strong in the three-pointer. Out of bounds will remain West Virginia basketball.
Western Carolina with only a 3 to show for their efforts to this point. West Virginia's defense really causing them a lot of problems trying to get into the offensive end.
Adam Sled is checked into the game for Mark Goslin. So Larry Hunter trying to keep his troops fresh as well. Here's Carter, a long 2, it's good. And West Virginia up 21-3. Nice job breaking the pressure here. It's Stager. The crowd wanted to travel. Sled in trouble. Picked off. Myers. Carter. Myers. And the finish.
Now, I think Larry Hunter may need a timeout. Things are getting out of sorts really, really bad. They're continuing to play.
Stager the floater. It's no good. Gets his own rebound. In trouble. Looking for help. Finds Mutombo inside. Second basket of the game for the Catamounts. Lamont West for three. In and out. Rebound to Olje from Izmir, Turkey. With some international flavor. Mutombo from Canada. Pickering, Ontario. Pass inside. Sled has it swatted away.
Larry Hunter wanted the foul on Macon, didn't get the call.
Staying in the man-to-man defense. Carter, three-pointer. It's off the mark. Olje the rebound.
Last two shots by West Virginia, Carter and West, really not a lot of movement on the offensive end.
Mutombo, long three-pointer. Rebound to Miles. Carter will try another three-pointer, and this one is good for Javon Carter.
Western Carolina not even coming out to put a hand up. And finally, yes, Larry Hunter says, I've seen enough.
Just a little less than halfway through this first half, and West Virginia all over Western Carolina 26-5 at the 10:02 mark. And so the Mountaineers, an appreciative crowd down here in Charleston, West Virginia. They've obviously they play here once a year, and they've seen what they wanted to see. A West Virginia team that's been very impressive. So we are going to take a break as the Mountaineers have a 21-point lead, 9 minutes and 58 seconds into the first half at the Charleston Civicus.
Big Mountaineer lead here in Charleston. I'm Robbie Mikowski. Well, in the upset win for the Mountaineers over the University of Virginia on Saturday, the Mountaineers held London Parantes, one of the best guards the nation has to offer, to just 6 points. And here's what he had to say after the game about facing the press. You can't replicate that. They do something completely different than anybody in the country. Playing against the press for 40 minutes is tough, and they do not stop. Now, I asked Larry Harrison about this, the assistant coach for WVU, who's responsible for drawing up that game plan. He said, hey, we wanted to make him work whenever he had the ball and make him work for it. Now, in terms of the press in general, he said that was the whole reason that they press performances like that. Just get these guards out of their comfort zone and make them work faster or slower than they're accustomed to working, Robin Warren.
No question, and again, 14 turnovers to 8. That's a huge part of that victory.
Yeah, it certainly
is a terrific guard, and we see another turnover here, and Carter, fouled hard, and he'll have a chance to go up and try to complete a three-point play. He is able to pop up. Looks like he's okay.
Well, and the officials are talking to see, I don't know if they're going to look at the monitor or not. They might think this is a flagrant foul.
Yep, I believe that is what they're going to say.
And the officials are going to take a look at this.
Well, you can see that Parks came in hard, and well, that'll be interesting. It didn't look like a flagrant foul.
No, I think he was just trying to get back. You know, sometimes, though, you wonder whether frustration is beginning to sit in already. No.
And I think it looked like he was setting himself up to go for the block. And then when Carter went underneath, he realized he couldn't jump. And I think he was actually trying to stop him from colliding with him, but the officials are going to talk this over.
Well, whether they call it a flagrant foul or not, the good news for West Virginia is Carter's up and he's okay.
Absolutely.
That's the kind you can land on a wrist, something that really get messed up.
Yeah, 9 different Mountaineers have played, 7 different Mountaineers have scored in this game, so great balance. Javon Carter will have a chance for at least a three-point play here. Officials talking things over to Larry Hunter. And also with the Mountaineer players, so looks like it's going to be a flagrant one. And that will be on Therese Parks. So
well,
Larry
the big
Hunter.
thing about it, once Carter leaves the floor, he's defenseless. There's nothing he can really do, you know. And it doesn't take that much to knock you off balance when you're going up like that.
Right, and trying
I'm amazed he made the shot.
Yep, trying to err on the side of caution as well. So you want to consider player safety first, even if there was clearly no intent for Maurice Park. Still, keep the players safe.
You got to protect the players.
Right.
That's right.
That's right. Carter, an 82% free throw shooter, hits the first and the second. A 25-point lead for the Mountaineers.
You know, Rob, the entire building here is filled with Mountaineer fans, and as much as they pull for the Mountaineers, I think they would like to see a little more of a competitive ball game.
On the inbounds to Konate. Sags Konate lost the handle. Now he's again, a guy with so much promise. We saw that with Issa Ahmad last year, and we're seeing him really blossom this year. And Sagaba Konate, a guy that they're really high on.
It was one of those things just now. Hugs yelled at him, shoot the ball. Don't think so much. Go get the ball as strong as you are. Go up and put it in. Another turnover.
Olje has it forced out of his hands. Tom Huggins, certainly one of the great coaches in college basketball. Wow. Chase Harper inbounded it towards the official.
Huggins is looking at Chase like we're wearing white here now.
And Chase Harler played on this floor a bunch in high school. Shot missed, kept alive by Adrian, but rebounded to Parks. By his count, 11 different times playing on this floor, winning a state championship here as well. The Wheeling Central three-pointer is good by Hanno Steger.
West Virginia really slowed that time in recognizing and picking up after Western Carolina got into their set.
Konate in trouble, gets to Phillip. Carter, long three-pointer, short. Rebounded Konate, has it knocked out from behind. Now on the floor, kept alive by Chase Harler. Adrian fakes the three. Now they're going to call a charge underneath. And the faithful here didn't like the call.
No, I think Nate Adrian was getting ready to go to the free throw line. Wow. Let's just say the official had a better look at it than I did.
We're some 50 feet away, right?
Yeah.
5 feet away. Ooh. Parks looked like he got one in the kisser. Three no good, but tapped in by Mark Goslin. But Goslin really a hustler. You can see why Larry Hunter likes him. Very active, all over the floor. Really works hard, plays hard. Now Phillip thought he had Watkins on the wing, but a turnover. Unforced error by the Mountaineers as Issa Ahmad checks in. And that's for Chase Harler.
Not many times you've seen miscommunication between West Virginia, Watkins and Phillip not on the same page just now.
Inbounds to Mutombo.
Ran out of real estate.
He did. He's another tough player. 13 rebounds against Marshall. He's not a big guy. 6'5", 190. Plays hard. I think Larry Hunter thinks his team's going to be okay, but brutal, brutal early season schedule. Marquette, Miami, Ohio State, West Virginia. Not a lot of seniors. Here's Brandon Watkins. No one to go to. Steps up. Shoots the 15-footer.
Shooting.
Well, there was nowhere else to go. None of his teammates came to him, so not much of a choice there for him. That or a 5-second call. Pugsley's pass off the rim. Parks has it. And Mutombo is there. Nice feed into Abubakar Mutombo. Watkins on the block. Phillip to Carter. Good ball movement by the Mountaineers and good patience offensively. Phillip will now bring it back out. Still 12 on the shot clock. Long three-pointer off the mark. Western Carolina He said the fans wanted to see something on a 7-0 run here. Another turnover. Macon to Adrian. Boy, was that easy.
Nice touch pass.
Nice when you have two big guys that can run the floor, see the floor, and pass the ball so well. Really an interesting bookend of forwards in Nathan Adrian and Issa Ahmad for West Virginia. Approaching 6.5 minutes remaining in the first half. West Virginia out comfortably. 20-point lead. Pugsley, three-pointer. Watkins rebound. Harder the pull-up. It's short. Ahmad right there. Can't get the tip to go. Gets it right back. Left-hander no good. Stays alive. And this time he'll draw the foul and we'll have a chance to shoot a couple of free throws when we return. So West Virginia, number 15 in the country, off to a 6-1 start this season. A big down payment to being 7-1. Ahmad to Adrian. The lead is 20. At the Charleston Civic Center from the very opening tap, Elijah Macon and company have been in charge of Western Carolina and this game. 32-12 the lead. The Mountaineers have scored 12 baskets on 11 assists. Very unselfish.
That's exactly right. That's huge. You know that you're sharing the ball. Coaches love to see it. Nobody cares who scores.
The lead is 20 as Issa Ahmad steps to the free throw line. Ahmad, 2 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and a blocked shot. So early on, contributing across the board as he so frequently does. A free throw off the mark. He's hit 2/3 of his free throws this season. And 1 for 2 here. Bob Huggins walking up and down the bench, doing some coaching. And this one off Javon Carter, and out of bounds. It'll remain Western Carolina basketball. There's Bob Huggins.
Creeping up on 800 wins, huh?
Yep, that's an impressive number. Inbound to Mutombo. Able to just get it across the timeline to Parks. Parks in trouble. Finally now, well, they never do get it saved. And Brooks hands off to Goslin, so they do get the fresh 30-second shot clock. And say after all that, they had 12 on the shot clock, and they hadn't even come close to getting into their offense. And that bounds off Goslin, and that's one of the problems too. Even if you break the press, sometimes it takes so long that you're only left with a dozen or so seconds to get into your offense work.
Yeah, you're right. They turn it up so much. By the time you get your feet under you to do something, the clock is done.
That affect you as a coach, former coach yourself? What sets you can run?
Yes.
There's Macon off the window and good.
Well, Elijah looked really smooth on that. You know, as a coach, sometimes you have to put in what they call quick hitters. Something that you know that you can run and everybody knows what's going to happen with it, and you get a quick shot.
Another turnover. Oh, great feed. Adrian to Ahmad. Long lead to Goslin, and he'll wait for help. Had a chance to talk to him a little after the shoot around. An engaging young man. Parents, one from the United States, one from France, perfectly bilingual. And you see the Adrian look inside to Ahmad.
Nathan just has such good court awareness, knowing where guys are and making good decisions with the basketball.
14 turnovers, 17 points off those 14 turnovers for the Mountaineers. They're going to call Adrian with a push off on Goslin. That'll be his second personal foul.
That one, I think, may have gotten that right. You know, he did have an arm in, and if you release and go to the ball and your arm comes out, they're going to call a push-off, whether you do it or not a lot of times.
Well, that's again, we talked about the effort plays by Goslin as making his whistle for a personal foul. He's holding his left collarbone. Bob Huggins said that was a travel. As Macon kind of getting that wing loosened up a little bit. Lamont West checks back in for Adrian, who has to sit down with those two personals. Parks in trouble. Will call the timeout as they couldn't get the ball inbounded, so they'll take a timeout. 37-12 is the score. Larry Hunter, as we mentioned, Bob Huggins, 797 wins, 683. That is 9th among active coaches for Larry Hunter. A tremendous resume. Was inducted into the Ohio Basketball Hall of Fame this summer. So Larry Hunter has known the Huggins too, by the way. You know, Ohio family, Charlie, right? And Larry and Harry. As we take a look at the most Division I wins, this is the most wins among active coaches, and Larry Hunter there with 683. Coach for a long time at Wittenberg, a real powerhouse at the Division III level. Went to 4 Final Fours there as the head coach, won a championship. You know, he's coached for 36 seasons, 11 times been to the NCAAs.
Oh yeah. Well, you see a little extra West Virginia flavor there. John Beeline, number 10 now, had a stint at West Virginia, so he and Huggins, both West Virginia guys, coaching at West Virginia, getting those wins.
Talking to Coach Hunter, he was mentioning his Boubacar to get the kick here. Boubacar Mutombo driving. How many great coaches started at Wittenberg right around the time, and you know, that he began, and you can add his name to that list. Jerry Meals, others that have had great success at the collegiate level, who began at Wittenberg. So it's sort of like a cradle of coaches. Mutombo in trouble, fighting for with Macon for the ball. Here's Fuller, Devontae Fuller, who's checked into the game. Fuller tried to pass it out, had it swatted away. 7 on the shot clock.
Western Carolina has not scored, but I guarantee you Bob Huggins is not happy. There were a number of loose balls. West Virginia had a hand on them, came up with none.
They're the two coaches. I think you'd probably need a Krzyzewski-Boeheim matchup to get more wins than this matchup here tonight. ACC play. Syracuse and Duke, we have a travel. And Mutombo, whose brother Haduna was a player here and 1,500-point scorer. Larry Hunter was talking about his fine career as well earlier today. There's Boubacar. Says Dikembe shows up at some of the games. It's pretty cool.
Is that right?
Yeah. Come down to watch his nephew play.
I'll tell you what, if you drove in on Dikembe, he was going to send it to the stands and then give you a little
little wag of the finger.
Wag of the finger saying, no, don't you dare come in here.
Macon, and he throws it away. He could do it in a way, though, that the other players, sometimes you get a little trash on the players. The other players seem to be amused by it. He could get away with it. Dikembe Mutombo. That was intended for Mutombo, came to Olje, so they avoid a turnover for now. 25-point lead for West Virginia. Fuller in trouble, still in trouble. Gets it to Goslin. Goslin has it stripped away by Miles.
West Virginia sometimes looks like they have 7 or 8 people on the floor. The way they trap, you pass out of the trap and they trap you again.
Here's Myers in the three-pointer.
Wow.
Well, sometimes teams, to try to get ready for him, will practice against 7 or 8 players. And it doesn't work all that effectively, as we've seen. Very, very hard to prepare for. I heard Robbie having that report with London Perantes. Tough to prepare. It's tough to replicate this, simulate it in practice. That one whipped into the stands as well. Another turnover. The Mountaineers cruising. They lead by the score of 40-12. Tavon Myers, the latest to get on the score sheet with his three-pointer. We'd like to welcome Spruce Knob Seneca Rocks telephone viewers in Riverton, West Virginia. Thanks for watching and rooting on your Mountaineers. All of us at Root Sports and WVU appreciate your support. Well, the Mountaineers have been in command since the opening tip. The Mount Western Company taking the floor for the final 3:06 here of this first half. Daxter Miles Jr., Tariq Phillip having some discussions with the officiating crew.
You know, looking at Lamont West on the court, Nathan Adrian is a senior. It's not going to get any easier in years to come. Lamont West is going to step into that point on the press, and he's got the quickness, the athletic ability, the length to really make it hard on teams, just as Nathan has done.
You see Phillip inbounding with Myers, two of them growing up in the same neighborhood in Brooklyn, childhood friends. Tariq Phillip recruiting Tavon Myers out of Williston Junior College, said, hey, come to play for West Virginia, play for the Mountaineers. See the rebound there. Pulled down by Ano Steger. Ooh, Steger, nice pass. Swatted away by Konate.
Do not come inside.
Here's Pugsley. No good. Rebound Konate again. Boy, we've mentioned this before. So big and physical, but he does have some bounce.
Yes, he does.
Get off the floor. Here's Myers, three-pointer. 8 points for Tavon Myers now.
Boy, he's some instant offense off the bench.
Now his confidence level has grown so much from his first year in the program a season ago. Was the leading scorer in junior college at Williston, averaging 25 points a game. Took a year to find his way and now looks so much more comfortable and confident. Mutombo drives, tough shot. Kept alive. Here's Goslin into the corner. Three-pointer, too strong for Steger. Rebound to Konate. Ooh, Myers pulled up, was trying to get it inside to Konate, who turned around and gotten into good rebounding position, and now a chat with Coach Huggins.
Well, Sag says, I don't see him pass very often when he goes up like that. I'm going to the board.
Pugsley able to break the pressure. Ooh. Miles tried to come across for the steal and banged into Steger as we send it over to Robbie Ince-Mikowski. Robbie.
Well, guys, the halftime show, we got a lot of things coming your way. Stats and highlights, obviously. Robin Warren will break those down. But also, we asked the guys who's most likely to be late for a team bus. Mountaineers is going to bus back to Morgantown after this game. You'd be pretty surprised and pretty interested to hear what these guys had to say. It was pretty much a blame game from one guy to the next, Rob.
I can imagine. I don't think I'd want to be on a Bob Huggins team and be labeled as the guy most likely to be late to the bus.
No, it's going to be a long walk back to Morgantown if they miss it tonight.
Another turnover forced. Phillip left for Konate. He spins. Ooh, nice job by Goslin. Boy, he is one guy. Again, we mentioned him. Larry Hunter's got to be pleased with Goslin. Here's the pump fake. Missed the layup. Got his own rebound back. We'll try again. Nothing called. It's still Goslin to the ball. Good effort by Goslin. Three-pointer. And up over the back board, launched by Ano Steger.
You know, it's difficult inside sometimes. Things that look like obvious fouls to us as we watch aren't called, and then other times you think that there's something clean and it's not. You know, it's just really, really difficult for guys sometimes to figure out what's going to be called and what's not going to be called.
Absolutely. And Mountaineers now ready to close out this first half up 43-12. They held New Hampshire to 20. They've held Western Carolina to 12 at this point. Here's Miles with a three-pointer, and West Virginia will cap the most impressive first half up 46-12, a 34-point lead for the 15th ranked Mountaineers. And Bob Huggins is standing by with Robbie Inzmikowski.
Yeah, certainly is, Bob. It was a dominating performance defensively. You held Western Carolina to just 12 points. What worked for your defense?
Well, we ran through some balls and made them play faster than what they wanted to play and didn't really let them get into their offense.
When you have a lead like this, a 34-point lead, what do you hope to gain in the second half from your guys' both ends?
Well, we went 7 possessions, seven consecutive possessions without scoring. We can't do that. I mean, we got to work on us. You know, we got to work on us getting better and us being able to win in our league.
Thanks, Bob.
Yep.
All right. Rob?
Thanks very much. That defense holding Western Carolina without a point for the last 7 minutes and 39 seconds. The Mountaineers up 46-12 at the half. Halftime show coming up next here on Root Sports. First half action inside and outside, Warren, for the West Virginia Mountaineers.
Well, you have to like the way West Virginia shared the basketball. Very unselfish in that first half.
Inside, it was Macon and Watkins. Outside, three-pointers galore. Daxter Miles Jr. hits. Tariq Phillip gets into the action. Phillip again.
West Virginia is shooting 50% from three. Most coaches, anything 35 and above is tremendous. West Virginia 7 for 14, first half from three.
The Army had Mr. Inside and Mr. Outside, Glenn Davis and Doc Blanchard. We're in an Army state of mind here, 75th anniversary of Pearl Harbor, and we take a look at the first half statistics here. 46-12. It has been all West Virginia.
All West Virginia. Yeah, and Bob Huggins pointed out 7 possessions without.
Yes.
And only Bob sits back and sees that type of stuff, you know.
Well, I would say this though, and this is what sometimes these games can be more challenging than a game you win by 20 points or so, because that opponent has your attention.
Yes.
You know West Virginia is going to win this game. They're up 34 points at the half. What Bob Huggins wants to see is his team continue to execute offensively and defensively, because he knows that's what they're going to have to do. You heard him talk to Robbie Inzmikowski. That's what they're going to have to do in Big 12 conference play. There's not going to be any let-up if you're up 6 points to the half against Oklahoma State.
That's exactly right. The non-conference schedule beginning to whittle down. It won't be long before it'll be all Big 12, and boy, that should be exciting. And
Mountaineers have had some tests. Obviously, you have Illinois and Temple and Virginia on your schedule. Obviously, they lost to Temple, but impressive win over Illinois, and then equally as impressive, not as lopsided, but equally as impressive, that win in Charlottesville.
Yes, that is huge.
Second half, Therese Parks inbounding to Elijah Pugsley for Western Carolina. Charlendez Brooks tries to slip to Mutombo, who's called for the travel.
Actually, Brooks gave Mutombo that ball in a bad spot going down the lane to be trapped by the bigs inside, really know where to go and shuffle the feet.
Is that a spacing issue for Western Carolina there?
Yeah, there was a big with the ball and really not knowing what to do with it and giving it to a guard in a bad position.
Adrian will try the three-pointer. Off the mark, out of bounds, Western Carolina basketball. Nathan Adrian did a lot in that first half of 4 assists, only 2 points. Not sure he much cares about that.
He's done so much, again, that I said before the game, but does not show up on the stat sheet sometimes.
Mutombo. Parks down for Brooks, and it's out of bounds. Another turnover for Western Carolina. They had 19 of those in the first half. As we take a look at the key non-conference games for the Mountaineers, again, defeating Illinois, upset loss to Temple, then an upset victory at number 6 Virginia, at Texas A&M, and then, of course, the Big 12 waiting after that.
Yeah, the Big 12 SEC Challenge with Texas A&M coming into Morgantown. That should be a good contest for the Mountaineers as well.
West Virginia picked second in the Big 12 after finishing second a year ago. Bob Huggins closing in on win number 798.
After what West Virginia and how they played last year, not sneaking up on anybody at all in the Big 12 anymore.
Nope. Obviously a terrific season that had the edge knocked off a little bit in that first round loss in the NCAA tournament. Here's Ahmad, and he draws the foul call from Abubakar Mutombo, who looked bemused by that call.
You see what kind of maybe a little bit of acting by Issa Ahmad.
Pretty good defense by Mutombo.
Yeah.
Who, as we saw early on with the block shot of Ahmad inside, is a good defender. Not a big guy. Talked about how scrappy he was. 13 rebounds against Marshall. This is a 6'5", 190-pound player who is not afraid to get in there and mix it up.
You know, one thing, and Bob Huggins being the veteran coach that he is, that certainly he will guard against. When you're playing a game like this and you pressure the way West Virginia does, you don't want to get into any bad habits, because those bad habits aren't going to work against good teams.
Right.
But it's easy to fall into the trap of doing some things when things like this become so easy.
Right, and that is exactly what he's going to be railing against. Jumbo looks back to Pugsley, long three-pointer. It's going to be well short. Ahmad with the rebound. West Virginia wants to run. Now they'll gather. Good decision by Mike. You talked about good and bad decisions, and now Carter on the cut, and Bob Huggins not at all happy with that call.
I heard Bob Huggins' response from here. A lot of other times that may have received a technical foul for that. Bob yelling at the official, really upset about the call.
Yep. Brandon Watkins checks in for Elijah Macon. I think Bob Huggins wants his team to be aware of the fact that he is well into this game as well. He's got something invested in it. Wants to see the same from his team.
When you have the resume that Bob Huggins has, he can say some things sometimes to some officials other people cannot say at all.
Mutombo the miss. Watkins the rebound. They've had that shot altered a little bit. Ooh, up way too high for Ahmad. Bob Huggins looks disgusted over on the West Virginia bench. Parks the other way. His three-pointer's no good. A run out here. Beautiful pass from Carter to Miles. And they're going to call the foul on Goslin as Miles missed the dunk.
Well, that last couple of exchanges, that looked like Sandlot at its best.
Yeah, and that's, I don't think, going to make Bob Huggins too happy. Does not want Sandlot.
Carter's pass at the side of the board. I wonder if they put a shot up for that. I think everybody knows the intent was a pass, but
Miles hits the first. Still working the officials. In and out, kept alive by Ahmad, but tapped it too hard out of bounds.
Dax Miles knew he'd missed that as soon as he let it go. He went charging down the lane.
It has been almost 10 minutes since Western Carolina has scored in this game. Down 49-12. Pugsley tries to save. Right into the hands of Carter. Miles wanted the alley-oop. Ahmad thought better of it. Now great position on the block, and he is hauled down inside as Pugsley recognized the mismatch. 6'8" on 6'1", Pugsley.
A good takedown.
Yeah. Elijah really had him wrapped there. I'm not sure Pugsley could do a whole lot about it. I think he was going wherever Issa said he was going. Third personal foul on Pugsley. Carter pulls up, and Carter hits.
You know, West Virginia has so many guards that can do so many things for them. You know, you just don't expect all of them to have a bad night
Into Brooks, the reverse, and that breaks a scoreless drought of 10.5 minutes for the Catamounts, dating back to the 7:35 point of the first half. Ahmad, too strong. Rebound being battled for. Well, Western Carolina still scrapping.
Yeah.
That's one thing Larry Hunter's got to be happy about. His team hasn't given up. Here's Mutombo. Off the turnover, Mutombo will go to the free throw line.
Well, we really haven't seen a lot of textbook basketball here at the beginning of the second half. More helter-skelter.
More helter-skelter, I would agree with that. Mutombo, a 52% free throw shooter. Hits the first. Mass substitutions. We'll see Devontae Fuller in for the first time in the game. Jason McMillan, a freshman from Cherokee, North Carolina, will check in. Stags Konate back in for West Virginia. And Phillip and Myers will hustle in as well. Myers and Miles with an interesting exchange there.
Wow.
West Virginia had 6 guys on the floor for a minute. Myers said, hey, I'm in for you. Let's go.
New rule this year, you can only play 5. Cannot get away with 6.
And Mutombo hits them both. And Ano Steger will check in for Mutombo. Under 16.5 minutes remaining. West Virginia up by 35.
Western Carolina staying in the man. They've been in man all evening. Not really tried to switch anything up.
Carter pulls up. Carter hits. Javon Carter beginning to feel it.
He is feeling it. You're exactly right. Took the words right out of my mouth. He is shooting it with a lot of confidence.
And Phillip the layup on the other way. McMillan tries to go long. Carter has another idea. Steals it again. Phillip. Myers, 3, too strong. Rebound to Goslin. Carter, a season high 13 points for the Mountaineers. Brooks spins. His shot no good, and the charge as Myers steps in. Underneath the 6'9", 240-pound Brooks. Mountaineers up 55-16, 15:29 remaining. In the top 5, Jaromir Jagr, a spectacular career. Penguins will look to make it 4 in a row against the Panthers. West Virginia looking to improve to 7-1 here against Western Carolina. Up 55-16. And Carter loses it out of bounds.
Jagr hadn't hinted about retiring or anything, has he?
Not that I have heard.
Wow.
He loves to play.
Yeah,
and
right.
It's come out more now, later in his career, because he's had such a great career. Swatted away, another turnover forced. What an unbelievable work ethic he has always had. Loves to be at the rink. Extremely, extremely hard worker. And it's paying off as he's able to play and play well.
Well, yeah, now
deep into his 40s.
Keep your body in good shape and still have that desire. There's no reason why he should stop.
Substitution, Maurice Smith, Lauderdale Lakes, Florida, will check in for Devontae Fuller. Lobbed into Konate. Lamont West on the floor. Carter out to West. He'll try the 3. Off the mark. Steger the board. I beg your pardon, that's Olje. Maurice Smith has it wiped away by West. Beautiful feed inside. Konate lost the handle. West got it back. West fights it up and in.
Boy, good effort by West.
And they'll call Goslin for the personal foul drawn by Tavon Myers. Five West Virginia blocks in the game. And the 4th personal foul on Mark Goslin.
It looks like it's been more than 5 blocks, but there's been some alters in there as well. Officials again taking a look to see whether or not they think that maybe there was something flagrant about the last foul. It's a tough job for the officials too at this point, Rob. They don't want to let things get out of control. They know the score is out of control, but they don't want the play to be out of control.
Well, I don't know if we have a good look at this, but it didn't appear to be
anything really.
No, at first glance. Well, Larry Hunter's Western Carolina team, and we mentioned the brutal schedule they're playing, and Goslin's been one of their leading guys. Well, that's not where the personal foul was going. Here it's going to be right here. Oh, well, we just missed the tail end of it here.
In any event, that was Goslin's 4th foul. So
yep, that's a big one. He's been a guy that stood out, and here it is towards the tail end of that.
Yeah.
Hard to see anything flagrant in there.
Well, you know, the thing is, though, when you put yourself out on an island like that, you can get away with that when there's a lot of bodies around you, but you're out there alone. You leave everything up to the judgment of the official on a call like that.
Just a little bit of a push off there. Good job by Myers. Good heads-up play to draw the personal foul there. Nice jump stop. Man, all bouncing out on the soft touch by Ahmad. Stager. Ooh, nice finish on the other end. I believe that was Goslin.
I think it was. I don't think Sags saw him coming. As strong as Sags is, I think he really got well.
Oh, was that a nice pass? Very slick from Myers down to Konate.
That is how you flush one.
McMillan back to Stager. Myers reaches in there. They're going to call the personal foul. And look at this dish from Myers to Konate.
Excellent bounce pass. You know, the thing about it, the ball came up where the big guy can handle it. It wasn't around his ankles. Sometimes in traffic like that, if that pass is too low, the big guy can't come up with it. Myers gave him a perfect pass to handle.
Elijah Macon back in. There's McMillan, 3-pointer. Rebound to Macon. Phillip. Issa Ahmad there for the tip in. (61-18). Very, very difficult shot. Changed again on the floor. So it's going to be a jump ball. It will be. It'll be West Virginia basketball with 13:05 remaining in the second half. So scrapping and coming up with a loose ball there. Under the watchful eyes of head coach Bob Huggins. Closing in on career win number 798.
Wonder who number 402 was against. You know that off the top of your head?
402?
Yeah. Who did he beat for number 402?
I don't. What a trick question?
No, I just thought, I mean, you're good at this stuff. I thought maybe you...
No idea. I'm going to guess it happened at Cincinnati.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Probably beat St. Louis University. How about that? Just throw one out there for you. I'm sure our crack crew will be scurrying to find career win number 402 for head coach Bob Huggins.
Honestly, Rob, I'm disappointed in you, but that's okay. I'll let you off the hook this time.
Well, don't be disappointed until you find out whether it was St. Louis University now, whether it was the Billikens. Elijah Macon to the free throw line. Hits that one. You mentioned the importance of the bigs for West Virginia, the big guys being able to hit those free throws down the stretch.
Sure.
They're likely to be fouled. We saw the hack-a-shack right in the NBA, and it could be targeted perhaps. Close games.
And again, we've talked about it all year. I think Bob Huggins wants the production out of the three bigs, Sags, Macon, and Watkins, combined to try to give him what Devin Williams did last year. The thing that's going to be a difficult task, but I think there's more firepower from the perimeter for West Virginia, and that's going to make up for some of that.
The other thing is, too, talk about, whether it's a hack-a-shack, but you don't want to be afraid to go inside with those guys, late in the game. Myers draws the block. We'll go to the free throw line.
There are times you have to go inside when West Virginia shooting the ball to have that defense collapse so you can kick it back out.
Bob Huggins coaching away. 1-1 for Tavon Myers. Hits the first. What an upbeat personality. I was talking to Tariq Phillip about him. He said he wakes up that way. Smile on his face, full of energy, ready to go.
I'm like, I think he probably grins in his sleep.
And there it is. Double figures for Tavon Myers. Always a nice number to hit for a player. Ashley Williams. And Williams throws it away. So Larry Hunter has really emptied the bench, allowing a lot of his players to go. Here's Tavon Myers fixing the monitors. Look at him. Oh, man. Is there anybody in the building having more fun than Tavon Myers right now? Ahmad down to Macon. Macon goes up strong. Oljay called for the foul. Didn't agree. But boy, Macon really strong, quick, decisive move here. You have to have a feel as a post player for when to go up decisively, or do you just go up decisively until somebody proves that they can stop you?
Now, a lot of it, Rob, has to do with the positioning you get before the ball even gets there. A lot of times you'll know as that ball is coming to you whether or not you have an immediate move or whether you need to kick it back out.
A good round of applause for James Long, the Charleston, West Virginia native, who's checked into the game for the Mountaineers at the 12-19 mark. You think an opportunity to see a lot of playing time for James Long tonight in front of lots of friends and family.
I tell you what, he's taking advantage of the times that he has been in.
Yeah, averaging over 3 points a game. Stager, challenged by West, kept alive by Goslin, again flying in. Hard not to appreciate the game of Mark Goslin.
James works really hard. He knows that he's not starting the ball game. We talk about guys coming out and getting shots up early. You see him, Javon Carter, all the time, out here long before anybody else is, working on their craft.
They were here, so each team gets a morning practice, and they call it a morning shoot around. And West Virginia was at 1. Actually, it wasn't a morning shoot around, but Western Carolina was at 11. Prior to that, prior to their shoot around, James Long and Javon Carter were here at the Civic Center shooting. So it has been a long day of shooting for James Long and Javon Carter. Their Mountaineer team up 66-18, 11:45 remaining in the second half.
Mountaineers up huge over Western Carolina with 11 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in regulation. I'm Robbie and Smikowski. Now, Rob and Warren, a couple minutes ago, we're talking about Tavon Myers and the job that he's done this season. His primary role on this Mountaineers team is to be the main defensive sub for Javon Carter. And Carter, by the way, is one of the best defensive players in the entire nation. So I asked Myers about what improvements he wanted to make this season. He said, yeah, the offense is fine and good, but the defense is where I want to improve the most. And trying to sub for Javon Carter is one of the toughest things anybody could do. He said his defensive intensity is nearly impossible to match, but he strives to do it every single day. Oh, by the way, the offense has improved greatly for Tavon Myers, but can you imagine his improvement on the defensive end following a guy like Javon Carter and working out with the work ethic that Carter has, Rob?
Yeah, you know, I think that the offense was going to come. It was just a matter of a comfort level. But the offense isn't going to come unless the defense comes for Bob Huggins, because you're not going to be on the floor.
No, that's right. That's exactly right.
Issa Ahmad has hit double figures. And you know, it's such, and you see it all around the country, Warren, no matter what the team is, that players, you know, young players sometimes think that they have to impress the coach by coming on off the bench and scoring some points, and because they're used to being the man in high school, right? And so they think, well, if I score some points, I'll get in there. And really, it's the opposite the coaches are looking for. But what else are you going to do? In most cases, and then, you know, the offense will find its way. By the way, Mark Goslin has fouled out of the game. 4 points, 10 rebounds for Western Carolina, leading rebounder in the game. Here's Ahmad. Issa Ahmad, boy, just really, really growing as a player. Can't wait to see him in Big 12 action.
Oh, my.
Pugsley now gathers. Guarded by Ahmad. Swallowed up again. They use that phrase twice now. That's what happens. You go in there, and there's just nowhere to go.
No.
Phillip able to keep it alive. Lamont West in the corner. In the game with Ahmad, Long, and Kanate. And once again,
if you're going to give it to me, I'm going to take it.
And he's getting to that point, too. If you come out and challenge it, he can take it by you.
That's exactly right.
Here's Olje, has it blocked by Kanate. Kanate up again, altering the shot of Williams. And Magic Bender from Warsaw, Poland will check in as we take another look at Kanate.
One thing you have to like about the way Kanate blocks these shots, he gets up so quick. So quick. One of the things is the big guy that you want, if you're going to block shots, make sure they leave the floor before you do. And he's been able to do that.
Oh, another one right on cue.
Looks like a pinball machine.
Oh, you know what, Warren? Now that I've checked my memory banks and I'm thinking about it, I remember that 402nd win. It came against Southern Mississippi back on January 9th of 1999. I said St. Louis University. I meant Southern Mississippi.
Okay.
I beg your pardon.
Must have played St. Louis the game before.
I just was checking through the memory banks. Let me look at this piece of paper again.
That's impressive.
January 9th, 1999. 54-52, your final score.
All right.
A scrapper.
That's impressive, Rob.
Well, I didn't want to disappoint you.
Okay. Right.
Thanks to the guys in the truck for most obviously looking up that information. 798 on the way. That was half a coaching career ago, right?
Wow.
402 wins. Kanate misses the second, Parks the rebound. And the foul by Lamont West. And Bob Huggins. Question was why?
No need to do it.
Yep. No real answer for that. We talk about promising young players.
Oh, my.
Magic Bender is a guy in Lamont West. You know, more playing time to come in the future. Each showing some flashes now. Beto Bolden has checked into the game as well. So it's Bolden and Long with West, Bender, and Kanate. Here's Bender. Tried to get it into Kanate. He is able to handle, boy, so physically strong, able to gather and finish.
He gets that close inside, you are not stopping him. Even if you try to foul him, he's so strong, he may take you, ball, and everything to the rack.
Under 10 minutes remaining. Yep. Handle lost by Jesse Loach. West will try from three. Off the mark. Out of bounds will remain West Virginia basketball. Adam Sled back in the game, along with Deloche for Western Carolina. Tito Bolden three-pointer. It is good. Boy, he can stroke
yes,
it.
he can stroke it.
Really a nice weapon to be able to have.
My.
To go that deep into your bench, you figure there's going to be a time where he may need a three-pointer. Big roar as Long's able to come up with a steal. Well, if James Long bends down to tie his shoes, they're going to cheer here
exactly
in Charleston.
Right.
But doing considerably more than that with the steal and then Bolden the three-pointer.
Beetle Bolden really put in a lot of time last year just shooting while he was recovering from that knee. You know, there's nothing wrong with your arms if that knee is in, you know. So he shot the ball a ton. And now that he's back and the knee is feeling good, he's really worked on his jump shot.
You would see him, and he couldn't jump, obviously.
No.
You would see him go around the horn with those three-pointers and not miss one last year.
That's right.
With a you know, newly constructed knee out there following surgery. A very, very impressive shooter. West a little flat on that second free throw. Sled releases. And good left-handed finish shielding from Bender.
I think the learning curve for Bender has been difficult. He's going to be a good player. It's just going to take him a little longer. And I'd say part of it was the language barrier at the beginning of the year.
Well, West is fouled there. And the Mountaineers, another strong game from Issa Ahmad. 14 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists for the sophomore Issa Ahmad. West Virginia up 78-20. The Mountaineers will return on Root Sports this Saturday against Virginia Military Institute. It's all a part of Wild and Wonderful Sports, and it tips off live Saturday at 2 p.m. on Root Sports. The Mountaineers will be 7-1 heading into that game. VMI, then UMKC. Another game on our air. Possibility that Bob Huggins will be gunning for career win number 800 on that day against the Kangaroos. Then it's Radford, Northern Kentucky, and then into Big 12 conference play against Oklahoma State. You think about, I'm sorry, what did you say?
No, I was just saying the Keydets from VMI coming in, and they're struggling this year. But one thing that you can always count on when you play one of the military schools, the discipline schools, they're going to give you a good effort. They may not win the ball game, but you're going to get a good effort out of it.
Well, Bob Huggins, 34 years of coaching, 30 times his team has been to postseason play. 22 NCAAs, 6 NITs, 27 20-win seasons out of 34. 27 out of 34. You see Chase Harler back into the game. Kick to the corner, three-pointer, and it's good for Anno Steger.
To the credit of the loyal fans here in Charleston, most of the crowd's still here. You know, a lot of times you see a score get this lopsided, people are heading for the exits and everything else.
Well, this is a chance to not have to get in the car and drive 2 hours up to
that's right.
West Virginia, or flip on Root Sports to watch your Mountaineers in these early season games. They come to you. They do once a year, occasionally twice a year. Harler misses the first free throw. Chase Harler, Wheeling Central High School, winning the state championship as a sophomore, two-time West Virginia Player of the Year. By the way, he also won a state championship in the 4x400 relay.
Oh, is that right? I wasn't aware of that.
Finished second in the 400 itself, and then his team won the 4x400. So it's not too often you win a state championship in a couple of sports. No. And he was able to do that at Wheeling Central High School. Product of Moundsville, a dozen or so miles outside of Wheeling. Drive to the basket by Deloche. He's fouled. I believe it's going to be on Harler.
Well, we got a break here. Let's give a shout out to the WVU women's soccer team. Fell one game short, but, you know, couldn't be prouder of a group.
What an incredible season.
Oh, my. Yes, unbelievable.
The #1 seed going in, and you mentioned getting to the NCAA championship game. I know they'll be disappointed about that loss. Obviously, that'll sting for a while, but when you think about that accomplishment, it is remarkable. Right. 81-25, under 7 minutes remaining. Harler looking, trying to get it into Konate. Bolden wants it back out with 8 in the shot clock.
Let's see if this goes up.
And it will. Bolden's three-pointer, too strong, off the shot clock. It was right on target.
Yes, it was.
A little strong.
Well, the thing about Beetle Bolden, he's small, but he elevates so well on that shot.
Inbound to Stager. Able to break the timeline. Drive to the basket by Williams, kept alive. Stager, or Bender, I beg your pardon, with the rebound, and he's fouled. And so we'll head back on down to this end of the floor. Magic Bender, 6'10", 240-pounder out of Warsaw, Poland, played on the Polish national team. And again, quite raw, but boy, you can see what they like. Shooting touch, 6'10" at the front of that press, athletic. And this is the first.
It was good experience for him playing for the national team, the Polish national, but he may, in hindsight, been better off to stay and play summer ball here with the guys. To see the physicalness, that type of thing that he really wasn't used to.
Well, he'll get it. He's gotten a taste of it now, and oh boy, that's read by Konate. Konate dumps down to Bender. He's fouled. He'll go right back to the free throw line. There is something special about representing your country.
Oh, sure it is.
Konate, nice job, and trying to play the point.
Didn't know exactly what Sags was going to do with that one.
Now, as a big guy yourself, did you like a little room there with the ball, dribbling it out there?
They told me 2 dribbles or you're coming out. If you
two dribble maximum?
If you can dribble the length of the court and shoot it, then you're in good shape. If you can't, pass it.
And Bender, nice soft touch, hits the second. And goes right to the baseline to front that press. Boy, you just don't see a 6'10" guy doing that very often.
And, you know, that's another guy at some point in time you're going to see on the point of the press as well.
Ooh, Fuller, tough three with Konate right in his face. Monte Fuller, redshirt sophomore from Hickory, North Carolina. And Bender's pass a little sloppy. Now Stager will try to go to work on Long. He'll draw the foul and go to the free throw line.
Magic Bender that time, really, that's your prototypical telegraph pass. Everybody in the gymnasium can see where your eyes are, and that's where the ball is going to go. Bob Huggins moving down toward Logan route. Logan, the only guy thus far that has not seen action for the Mountaineers.
Stager misses both free throw attempts. The crowd would love to see James Long knock down a shot here. Every time he touches the ball, a little chant of "shoot it" comes up. There's Harler. This three-pointer short. Konate got wrapped up with Bender and couldn't get the shot off. And as predicted by Warren, Logan Rout will check into the game for the Mountaineers as Konate will head to the bench. Konate 5 points and 4 rebounds. Logan Rout from Cameron, West Virginia. Nice pass down and finished off by Kyle Rhodes. West Virginia looking to execute at a high level for the next 4 minutes and 40 seconds. They'll be walking out of here with a sure victory.
Well, you know, you want to impress the coach. It is the rotation is going to cut down, Rob. As they get into Big 12 action, you won't see. So some of these guys, this is the time when they have to.
Long had to rush that 3 at the shot clock. It expired just a little too long, and now the foul down underneath on the other end. Yeah, and we saw that. You know, we got a little taste of that in some of the closer games like Temple and Virginia.
Yes.
And there are certain players too that, you know, there's probably the understanding that you might not see significant minutes. You might not see any minutes, but the other thing is, do you have a skill set that, you know, something that could help out in a particular game, a particular matchup that might get you on the floor, even if it's not regular play time.
There's always a place for a shooter. And the other thing is, because you know that you may not get on the floor, what's your attitude like in practice?
Right. Well, I think one of the things that we've seen, and one of the things that should help that, look, you know, we're seeing the guys here that see the least amount of playing time right now. Their teammates have not lost interest. They will cheer them on the bench. We've seen that in these instances, and so that the camaraderie on this team, I think, should help.
Right.
Should help guys continue to want to give them good looks, because it's hard to improve if you're not getting good hard looks in practice, and you're still trying to practice with the idea that, look, you could be the next guy up if, heaven forbid, there's an injury or something might happen as Bolden drives in. So there's always plenty to play for, isn't there?
Oh, yes.
And James Long going to be whistled right in front of our broadcast position with a personal foul as the Mountaineers up by 55 with 3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. Here are the most coaching wins of all time. Mike Krzyzewski, 1,051. That is going to be hard to catch. Bob Knight, second. Jim Boeheim is third. See Bob Huggins, still an active coach, third active coach. Look at the names on that list. Dean Smith, Adolph Rupp, Jim Calhoun, Eddie Sutton, Lefty Drizel. Bob Huggins in very, very good company.
Wow.
Should catch Eddie Sutton this season. And no sense that he's slowing down. He's going to reel in a bunch of those names in the list as he continues to coach. Talking to Brian Messerly, the esteemed basketball sports information director for the Mountaineers.
Probably, I'm just going to go out on a limb here. He's probably going to make the Hall of Fame someday.
Oh, I think that's a certainty. Yep, he's a tireless recruiter. Obviously, you don't win 797 games by accident.
That's right.
Knows how to coach. And really has a team I think he feels highly of this year. Wants to get a few things cleaned up. There's West off the glass.
Off the glass.
Beautiful bank shot by Lamont West. Old school going off the window there, huh?
Yes.
Feed inside, good finish by Adam Sled. Freshman, so he's seeing extended playing time as well. Larry Hunter, chance to get some of his less used players some playing time in this game as well. Bolden keeps it alive as McMillan batted it away. Right into the hands of Eric Martin. There's Eric. Looking dapper as always.
His job to mold the bigs inside. I heard him one day tell Sags, because he wasn't rebounding, and he was sending him to the treadmill, he says, I don't care, I'm going to win either way. You're either going to be the best rebounder in the country or the best conditioned athlete in the country. So, I win either way, you choose.
A nice dump down pass from route to Bender. Bolden got a hand on it, but Fuller able to keep it alive. Ten on the shot clock. Nice feed into Sweat, missed it. Able to follow it back up. James Long, the crowd wants him to shoot it, but he's staying within the offense. Here's Harler now. Out to Bolden. Three-pointer. Nope. And the rebound for Kyle Rhodes. 1 minute left as the Mountaineers closing in on their 7th win of the season. Get a travel call.
You know, I'm sure the guys from Western Carolina and some of the other teams in West Virginia, I wonder if they even know how to play a 2-3 zone.
No, I mean, no. And you bring the guys in and you want them. Look, if your defense is a 2-3 zone, that's what you play when you bring the guys in. This is what they play. This is what they do against everybody all game, all season. Pressure, pressure, pressure.
West Virginia will expand their defensive repertoire some. There may be a time when they do have to go zone.
Long as the shot clock expired. But again, you talk about what you want your guys to be able to do when they come into a game. If you need somebody to step into a Big 12 game, this is the style they're going to be expected to play.
Yeah, that's right.
So this is their opportunity to do it when it counts. And the crowd here is Civic Center, as you mentioned, here in Charleston. Not many left, despite the lopsided nature in this game. As old friends Larry Hunter and Bob Huggins, who've known each other for a long time. Larry talking about knowing Bob's dad, Charlie, his brothers Larry and Harry, and of course Bob for a long time as well. Both went to Ohio U. Larry Hunter graduated from there. Bob Huggins attending there before he transferred to West Virginia. And here at his alma mater, getting career win number 798 as the Mountaineers win by the final score of 90-37. So easy, maybe a little easier than they would like. Not as much of a test, perhaps, but they'll chalk it up as a win. And we will head over to Robbie and Mikowski and head coach Bob Huggins.
Yeah, Bob, at halftime, you said we have to work on us. You went to 7 straight possessions without scoring in the first half. Did you like the second half? And if so, what about it?
Yeah, I like most. I thought, you know, our guys that are going to play the majority of the minutes when we get into conference play, I thought played pretty well.
So when you have a game like this, what can you learn anything? And if so, what can you learn about your guys when you have such a big lead with regard to how hard they're playing?
I think what it was an opportunity to get a bunch of guys in that work their butt off every day that normally don't get any playing time. And, you know, you look, Logan got 5 minutes. Magic, we got Magic, and we played everybody, and I think everybody played at least 5 minutes.
This is win number 798 for you. How much do you think about 800, and what does that mean to you?
I don't think about it. Unless someone like you know, starts poking around asking questions, I don't ever think about it.
So you think I'm going to be the only one that asks you in the next couple games about winning 800 games, Bob?
No, but you are the one in the present that's asking me.
And how do you feel about that?
That you're asking me?
Yeah.
I figured you would anyway. I figured you'd come up with something that, you know, was a little bit not about basketball. How's that?
All right, we got to end this comedy show now, Bob. Thank you.
All right.
Guys.
Bob and Ravi, thank you very much. The West Virginia Mountaineers. And again, Bob Huggins brought up that point, a good one at the end. He gets something out of it. The players that work so hard in practice, you know, it's their job to make their teammates better, a chance to come out here and play in a game that means something.
That and impress the coach by the way that you play.
Career win number 798 for Bob Huggins comes in a 90-37 victory over Western Carolina. For Warren Baker, Rob Mikowski, our entire Root Sports crew, I'm Rob King. Thanks for watching Wild and Wonderful Athletics on Root Sports.